morning class. Remember, we've been looking at folktales, and this week our focus has been on reading and writing. So be rest assured that there will be more reading for you and more writing for you. In our previous lesson, we looked at a fable, or in other words, it's a folktale. A fable is a type of a folktale, so don't be confused. A fable only tells us there's a moral lesson at the end of a story. So we looked at the man, the boy, and the donkey. And in our today's lesson, we will look at another folktale. This is a story which is a modern retelling folktale, and it's from India. I want you to read it carefully and answer the questions 1 to 7. Read carefully and answer questions 1 to 7. Remember, when you're reading, take note of the spellings. Take note of the words. As I always tell you, access the dictionary. Take note of those words you do not understand the meaning, so that you also learn and understand the meanings of the words on your own. So, for the first part, I will read. When I've read the story for you, take note of the way I'm pronouncing the words, so that when you're reading on your own, you should also pronounce the words as I have pronounced them. I'll start. We're looking at extract 2, and the title of the folktale is King of the Birds. The birds of the jungle had no king. It was a real embarrassment for them, since everyone else in the jungle had a king. A king is someone who heads the flock and decides everything for them. All the birds decided they too needed a king. They called a meeting to resolve the problem. But who would be the king? The myna bird had no idea. Let the bird who can fly the highest be the king of the air, she said. One of the birds, Eagle, was a braggart. He was a big and strong and was sure that he would win. He strutted around and asked, "Why not make me king now? You know I can fly the highest." "Still, you may not win," piped a little voice. Eagle turned to see who had said that. It was Sparrow. "Oh," he said in a mocking voice, "and who's going to beat me?" "You?" he asked, letting out a loud, crackling laugh. The little birds, the middle-sized birds, and the big birds all got ready for the race. It was decided that an owl should start the race. When everyone was ready, the owl cried, "Whoa, whoa." As soon as the owl signaled, all the birds took to the air. Up they went, far into the blue sky. But they could not fly very high and very fast for long. One by one, they dropped out of the race. Only Eagle went on flying, as strong as ever. High and high. "I'm a bird in the sky. I'm an eagle that flies so high," he sang. At length, he looked below him and saw that all the birds had given up. "Oh, what did I say?" he exclaimed. "I am the king of the air. and all the birds that fly. What Eagle did not know was that tiny sparrow had been flying under his wing. The moment he stopped, Sparrow darted out. He flew just above the eagle's head and cried out, "No, no, Mr. Eagle, I'm king of the birds. Look, I've flown higher than you." All the birds agreed with Sparrow. In any case, they were glad to see proud Eagle beaten. He had boasted too much, so they chose Sparrow as their king. Eagle did not like this at all. He could not bear to see the crown being placed on Sparrow's head. So he caught the little bird in his claws and threw him to the ground. Although Sparrow did not get hurt, he found that Eagle had torn away half his tail. "Oh well, I'll still be king," he told himself. And ever since, Sparrow has had a short tail. So that's the story. As you can see, a very interesting story. At the end of this story, I want you to answer the questions 1 to 7. At the same time, I would like you to explain to me the moral of the story. The moral of the story is, what ethical thing have you learned from this story? Then in our next lesson, we shall discuss what you have come up with, your answers. For now, we stop here. Thank you very much.